Hello, everyone. This is Mrs. Saltcedar. I'm so sorry you were not able to be with us during Create and Read evening last night. We had a great time. This was the last Create and Read evening of the year. We will begin again in February, and all first graders will get the project. In March, all third graders will get the project, and in April, all 3 and 4K will get the project. So, if you haven't already, when you get the next email, please sign up for all of them so I can be prepared. I'm going to be reading The Mitten, a Ukrainian folktale adapted and illustrated by Jan Brett. And we're going to have a lot of fun. I love Jan Brett's illustrations and how she tells a story within a story on each of the edges of the pages. Once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. At first, his grandmother, Baba, did not want to knit white mittens. If you drop one in the snow, she warned, you'll never find it. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens, and finally Baba made them. Remember, keep an eye out what's happening on the mittens on either side of the pages. After she finished, she said, when you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound, but then I will look to see if you still have your snow white mittens. So off Nicky went. It wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. Do you see it? Do you see who else sees it? A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size, so he decided to stay. Who's next? A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten and he wiggled in feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. And who's next? Next, a hedgehog came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. Remember to look at the mitten. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down. When he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. But when they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly let him in. Up through the snow appeared a badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left. When they saw his diggers, they gave him the thump. Uh-oh. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotting by stopped to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. The fox poked his muzzle in. When the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. A great bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as could be, but what animal would argue with a bear? The mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and budged to many times its size, but Baba's good knitting held fast. Along came a meadow mouse, no bigger than an acorn. She wiggled into the one space left and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. Does everybody see Nicky? What did he finally notice? What is he thinking Baba's going to say to him? The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Everybody, ah, 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 ka-choo! The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. Look at them. Oh. On his way home, Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. It was the lost mitten silhouetted against the blue sky. As he ran to catch his snow white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First, she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw he still had his new mittens. I'm wondering what Nicky's grandmother is thinking. I bet you are too. So that was The Mitten by Jan Brett. And a big thanks to the Chilton PTA for the twines and pins. Facebook Marketplace gave me the styrofoam for free. And Library Club helped me assemble all the kits. Our next care will be February 28th. I hope to see you then.